Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to pull back the curtain and take a look at the incredible world of modern musicals to see how they are really made. So just picture this for a second. You walk into a theater, you look down, and you see a totally bare stage. Just wood. But a couple of hours later, you'd been transported to a magical kingdom or some futuristic city. So how does that even happen? Is it just, old school stage magic with smoke and mirrors? Nope, it is something way cooler than that. The real secret is that today's big musicals are basically live-action blockbuster movies, or maybe even more like epic video games. They're built from the ground up by a huge team of artists and engineers, and they're using some seriously mind-blowing technology to do it. Okay, let's get into how this whole thing works. So, first things first, every single amazing show you've ever seen, it all starts with one thing: a great story. This is the absolute foundation. It's the game plan for everything else that's about to happen. Now, in the theater world, the script has a special name. It's called the book. And honestly, you can totally think of it like the entire level map for a video game. It's got all the dialogue, all the major plot points, and the whole structure that guides you, the audience, from that very first scene all the way to the final curtain. And here is a pretty smart trick that a lot of creators use. Many of the biggest hit musicals are actually adaptations. They'll take stories from books or more and more from animated movies, stories that we already know and love, and they figure out how to bring them to life right there on stage. It's a pretty genius way to get everyone hyped before the show even opens its doors. Okay, so you've got your story. Now what? Well, you've got to assemble your team. And this is kind of like putting together a superhero squad for a massive, super creative mission. So you have all these different roles. The writer builds that book we just talked about. The composer and lyricist, they're creating the entire soundtrack from scratch. The producer is the one who goes out and finds all the money to make it happen. But the director is like the team captain. They're the one looking at all the different pieces and calling the plays to make sure everything, and I mean everything, comes together into one awesome, seamless show. All right, now we get to the part that feels like it's straight out of science fiction. This is where modern stagecraft gets seriously futuristic. We are talking some next-level tech. Check out this tech toolbox. We're talking digital projectors that can create entire moving landscapes right behind the actors. Giant, high-definition LED screens that make the colors just pop. They're even 3D printing custom props and masks. And to make sure you can hear every single word, every breath, the performers are wearing these tiny wireless microphones, and they're usually hidden right in their hair or somewhere in their costume. And this might be one of the coolest parts: automation. We're talking about enormous set pieces, entire walls, staircases, you name it, and they move all on their own, perfectly, because they're controlled by a computer. It's literally like programming a squad of stage-building robots to pull off a flawless, super-fast scene change every single night. And let's not forget about the sound. You've got all those hidden mics on the actors, plus a whole live orchestra playing. So there's a sound engineer sitting at this massive mixing board, and they are basically a live DJ for the entire show. They're constantly tweaking the levels, balancing every single voice with every single instrument to make sure the sound is absolutely perfect from every single seat in the theater. Okay, so after years of planning and building and rehearsing, it all comes down to this moment: the live performance. And for the actors on that stage, this is kind of like facing the final boss, night after night after night. Seriously, just think about what these performers have to do. They need to sing perfectly, dance with just this incredible amount of energy, and do it all while wearing these heavy, complex costumes. Plus, they have to hit these super precise marks on the stage so they don't, get run over by a moving set piece. And through it all, they have to make it look effortless. It's an absolutely insane level of skill and athleticism. And they don't just do it once and go home. Nope. A typical schedule is 8 shows a week. That is a massive physical and vocal demand. It takes years and years of training and unbelievable discipline to be able to do that. And get this, backstage, there's a whole other secret performance going on that the audience never sees. There are teams of people, quick change artists, waiting in the dark wings of the stage just to help an actor get out of one full costume and into a completely different one, sometimes in less than 30 seconds. It is pure, organized chaos, and it is absolutely essential to keep the show running smoothly. So what happens when a show becomes a massive, sold-out hit? Well, its journey doesn't just end on Broadway or in London's West End. Oh no. It goes global. A really successful musical basically becomes its own brand. After it opens in a major theater hub like New York or London, it'll often launch a national tour. Then it starts getting translated into different languages for productions all over the world. And these days, a lot of them eventually get professionally filmed, so people everywhere can experience that magic. So if there's one thing you take away from all this, let it be this. Modern musicals are a truly massive team effort, blending that epic, emotional storytelling with some seriously amazing technology to create an experience you just can't forget. And that leaves me with one final question for you to think about. What movie from your childhood do you think would make an absolutely awesome stage musical? Give it some thought. Thanks so much for hanging out, and I'll catch you on the next one.